Hello guys, today we're doing something different. A lot of people have been asking for guides. I'm not entirely sure that I'm the right person for it, but we can try. So I have this talent calculator for the next patch, and we got some new patch notes for Arcane and Fire Mage. There's a lot of Fire Mage changes, and it looks really strong. It looks like Fire will be the go-to if you want to have an easier time. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what talents I think they will work and explain it. I thought about doing this with a live stream and everything, but I thought that I would be too distracted by the chat, so I decided to just try this for once. Well, the talent and gameplay doesn't seem to change too much on Arcane. There is a few things that I like to mention that could potentially change your gameplay and viability in BG and rated BG. So remember that my guide is only for Battleground, War PvP and BG. It's not meant to be taken for Arena. I don't really play Arena. Everybody knows that I don't really enjoy Arena. And I've tried Arena, but it's not for me. And I've tried it 15 years ago as a double mage in TBC, like 17 years ago, stuff like that. I have never really enjoyed it. Okay, moving on. So our talent as usual are the Ice Block, Overflowing Energy and Incantus Ward. You always pick those three, of course. Why not? Then Spell Steal, obviously. Mirror Images. Now Remove Curse, I'd say to always take it. It's very situational. There is gonna be times where you have it, like unless you want to inspect the enemy team and are absolutely sure that there is no shaman with X or any warlock, you're always gonna have Remove Curse for the chance that you have that encounter. That is why I always say that these things are for BGs and normal PvP, because you can't exactly always be sure to never encounter anybody with a curse. So you always or almost always pick Remove Curse. Now Shifting Power gets moved here, and there's no reason to not pick this talent, even though I don't really like it because it's very clunky to sit still and use it, and I'm 90% sure I won't play with Ice Flows and cast it while moving, even though it's decent. I really like Shimmer. I don't think I'm gonna play Ice Flows, even though it's probably better for many situations. Alter Time, Master of Time, those are talents that are unchanged. There is no reason not to pick them. Blast Wave, you know I play a lot of Nox. Blast Wave is you really have to take it. Now Energized Barriers, I don't know, lately I've been feeling like I might just skip this one. If I'm playing Arcane, there's no real reason to pick it, because you don't really rely too much on clear casting. Well, a stack of Fire Blast is huge and a Finger of Frost is still good, but clear casting, I mean, you force it with Mana Gem, so for now let's try to not take it. Now Diverted Energy gets buffed a lot. It is gonna be very much stronger. It's double the healing, and I'm gonna explain also why I think there might be more reasons to pick Diverted Energy. Aced obviously is your main stat. You go as usual with the cooldown reduction on counter spell, and Ice Nova because it's really good for like knocking people off and then stopping them mid-air for jumping back, like Warriors of Lumbermill or Eye of the Storm, or like the Hunter's Disengage. Just remember that Disengage remove roots, so you have to wait the last second for him to disengage, and then you root him midway, and if you're lucky he will still fall down. If he's very fast, you can't do anything about it. Then you get Ring of Frost, obviously, and I still go Shimmer. Even though Ice Flows is really good, for now I still like how fast the no global cooldown is on Shimmer. I just prefer it. Now, this talent here, Incantation of Swiftness, I think it gets buffed. It's like 80% movement speed. I'm considering it for ninja capping and moving fast with Master of Escape, but I will consider it later. What am I missing? Okay, I'm missing the ice block heal. Now, I think that if you have a reliable healer and you're playing with friends, you can skip this and pick more Tempest Barrier, stuff like that, or Arcane Warding. But Cryo Freeze for solo players like me is huge because it basically helps you reset if you fuck up anything or if a stealther comes out and fucks you. It's always good to have like a reset sit block and everything. Now Flow of Time gets buffed as well. It's double the cooldown reduction on Blink, but it was always a good option. Now this placement got moved here and it heals also, so it's really strong. I was always picking this placement even when it was on the other row, but now it's even a better option. Temporal Velocity is buffed as well, and you have to take it for Dragon's Breath. And then you have Greater Invisibility. Now this is the part where it gets somehow interesting. Okay, I'm probably never going ice cold. I don't think I'm ever going ice cold. I don't think so. But now for BG normal, Temporal Warp is still my favorite, and we still have a few talent points. Now we have Mass Barrier and Mass Invisibility. Now I think Mass Barrier could potentially become really strong, and I will explain why. I think Mass Barrier is very strong because everybody thinks, oh, you get barrier on 4 people, it's a shield, but nobody thinks of like the passives that you get from that shield, right? You have Prismatic Barrier, and you have Improved Prismatic Barrier, for example, and it reduces the crowd control duration and reduces the harmful magic effects and the magical damage taken, which is like the meta right now is Boomy, Shadow Priest, stuff like that, Warlock. So having a shield on everybody is really good. Plus you have diverted energy, for example. I don't know if those barriers heals me, heals my team. We have to test it. I have no idea. But Mass Barrier, I think it scales very well. Now I don't know if accumulative shielding, your barrier's cooldown recharges 30% faster while the shield persists. Does it apply to me, to my entire team? We don't know. We can use shifting power to shield everybody 2 times, and it scales all the time with those talents, and you're still a good support. We don't know. We have to test those things when the talents are officially out on the live, because I don't really plan to test on PTR since there is no real BGs. There's only duels. There's a lot of pain in the ass to just test things. So we're gonna wait for the live servers for be absolutely sure of how this works. This also, we don't know energized barriers if they scale with the AoE barriers. If it does, Finger of Frost and Fireless become insanely strong, and even clear casting is not essentially bad to always have extra clear casting, because Arcane Missiles gets also buffed with clear casting in this patch. You have a talent somewhere in here that I don't remember the exact position. So I'm gonna go and assume that the barriers scale with the talents. We don't know, but let's say that they do. I'd say that you would go this, for example. You go accumulative shielding. I'm still never gonna pick slow. I feel like it's just an extra keybind to slow people, and in my games usually slows are kinda useless. 50% slow, it feels kinda useless. If you really wanna slow people for Silver Charmine or stuff like that, you can pick Ethereal Blink if you really want. It's very viable, it's very good, and it's very fun to play. It doesn't add another keybind to your rotation. You don't press extra buttons, you don't feel like as useless. Now those are the talents that I think I will run on my mage, but it will really come down to what the Mass Barrier talent scale with other talents. For the rest, the Arcane Mage plays like stay the same, and shifting power will make the only new appearance in my build. I already have the keybind, it's fine. Control plus spacebar is my keybind for this. And if people think that is a strange keybind, you should see just how many keybinds I have. I have like 80 keybinds, and no, I don't have a Razor Naga, and I don't plan to get one. I had one back in the day when it was like first released, and I'm too old. Like my keybinds were already set all on my keyboard, so I could really never get used to playing on my mouse with that. If I ever plan to go with the Naga, it's because I might try Arena someday again, and I want Ship 1, 2, 3, Counterspell 1, 2, 3, stuff like that, maybe. Otherwise, I don't plan to get Naga. I play with a Razor Death Adder. Moving to the Arcane talents, we have Arcane Missiles, obviously. This Arcane Explosion thing feels useless. Clear casting makes your this is the talent. Concentrated Power, which is like it was a PvP talent before, kinda. Absolutely take it. Arcane Orb, take it. Surge, obviously. Now, Arcane Explosion, we don't really care too much, but Arcane Blast 10% damage is big, you take 2. Consume Clear Cast, increase the damage of your next 2 Arcane Blast by 20%. It's basically my rotation. You consume a Clear Cast very fast, and then you burst strong with a 2 Arcane Blast or Presence of Mind. Increase Arcane Missile, of course. Now, some people take Arcane Tempo, it feels really good. It doesn't go into my playstyle, but it is a good talent. We want Presence of Mind at all costs. I don't care about the 2 Arcane Orb charges, even though they are pretty decent sometimes when you're AoE cleaving, even though I've never really killed anything with it. You still want to take it, because you want Presence of Mind. Now, this talent is still kind of useless until they change it a little bit. Amplification, yes. Slipstream, absolutely yes. Now, like I said, if Mass Barrier scales with Prismatic Barrier, we are going this route. Now, we are forced to pick Nether Tempest here to take Touch of the Magi. It's a new path. So you have to pick between Mana Depth, which I feel like is kind of useless in PvP, and Resonance. Resonance is the obvious go. If people have pets or they stack, you do some extra damage when you Orb, Barrage, Touch of the Magi, Barrage. You just do AoE cleaving, instant cast, and you slow people with Chrono Shift maybe, because now you can get Chrono Shift without going the extra route, I guess. Now we have Touch of the Magi, of course, Supernova. Obviously, if you're confident the warrior is gonna leap, you can stop him like that. You can prevent some dashes and some monk mobility, or some leaps from other classes like Feral Druid sometime. It's very good for stopping cast. It's very good when you knock people off like edges and they want to come back very fast. You can still stop them. There is some utility in that Supernova. It's a bit clanky. I wish it was not on the global cooldown, honestly. Now we have to take Improved Clear Casting to get to the Mana Gem for my build. And Arcane Bombardment probably. Enlightened, obviously. Evocation gets buffed. I'm already playing it and it gets buffed, so I'm obviously gonna play it even more. We have 5 talents left. It's a lot of talents actually. So we're gonna go with Impetus, or whatever you pronounce it. What do we have? We have a lot of talents. Well, Arcane Echo, I don't know how did I miss it. It's obviously a no-brainer. Then you could play this in BG. You get more clear casting, it gets more damage. It's still a good talent. So what I would probably go, if they don't buff this talent is gonna stay useless. And I think they changed this one as well. Yeah, they changed this. I don't know, it could be a good AoE cleave. I'm still not taking it for now. We have 2 talents. We are probably gonna take either 2 here or 1 here and 1 here. I feel like that is how I'm probably going. PvP talents, what do we have? We have Temporal, obviously if you play alone. Ice Wall, I play a lot. Arcanosphere. Arcanosphere lately I've been playing more for the knock than the damage. It feels like the damage is really not that good. The cast is very long. Ring of Fire does more damage, it's more usable in rated BG for example. I feel like Ring of Fire is still the best. I'm never playing Master Shepherd. I don't really like the idea. I'm not too fond on that. I feel like if the enemy is dying, I probably won't ship him. So the heal, like the fact that it doesn't get healed doesn't really matter to me. And 6% versatility is just not worth it. While if he's not dying and he's full HP, the talent is essentially useless. So I don't really see it for now as a viable option. I mean, it's good, but what would you trade? Temporal and Ice Wall and Arcanosphere? No. Ring of Fire? No. Master of Escape is good still. Kleptomania is like one of those talents that you never want to take because you don't want the cooldown, honestly. Improved mass invisibility? What? Oh yeah, I read this. This is reduced by 4 minutes. What is mass invisibility cooldown now? It's 5 minutes. So every minute you can have a mass invisibility. I don't know. It's good for pre-mates. For a solo player it's kinda useless. I mean, either I stealth or who am I gonna communicate with? I don't play that much team or voice. It's very rare for me. Even the rated BGs that I play no voice. So there is that. I'm probably gonna stay like this unless I play rated. If I play rated, there is a good chance that I play Ring of Fire above like Arcanosphere. Simply because it does more damage, honestly. It does more damage, and like knocking people off Lumbermill and Eye of the Storm is very rare in rated BG. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. So we're gonna stay like this. This is my Arcane build. I want to make a separate video for the fire one and see if I actually recorded everything in this one, because last time I did a guide for 40 minutes, 1 hour. I finished talking and then I realized like my microphone was muted and I wanted to legit stop even trying to make videos. It felt draining to have wasted like an hour like that. I'm gonna end the video here and check if I actually recorded. It looks like I'm recording. I hope it is working. Otherwise I'll be pissed. Well, thanks for watching. There is a few other things I could mention. For example, this talent, Incantation of Swiftness. If it scales with mass invisibility, you can give a sprint to everyone. Even if the invisibility breaks, you give like 80% movement speed for 6 seconds to everyone. Could be really good. But honestly, max shield is probably better still. Like, there's no reason not to pick mass shield, like mass barrier. Like, it's really good. It will come down to what I said, if how it scales. Oh wait, what the fuck? It doesn't. Oh, it's an actual spell. It's not a passive. It's 2 minutes cooldown. I thought it was like every time you shield yourself, you shield everybody, but it's not that. Oh, I guess you have a new keybind and 2 minutes cooldown, which obviously you will use with shifting power. Okay, I guess I will find another keybind for it. Alt D I think is open. And we will have to see how it interacts with Energized Barrier and other things. If it doesn't interact with anything, I might try Mass Invisibility with improved Mass Invisibility and Incantation of Swiftness and see how it scales. It kinda sucks that I can't get Tempest Barrier here. I kinda want it, honestly. It's really good for like when you're really low, no heals, and you're like spamming Blink to get some extra self-healing and shield. But maybe with the improved Diverted Energy, it doesn't matter. Like, Diverted Energy was at 60% during Shadowlands, and I was basically self-sustaining. Like, I was healing more than healers in PG. But I had Necrolord Fleshcraft, and I had Diverted Energy, and I had a lot of more like self-healing from conduits and shit. I had a lot of things. Even Tempest Barrier was stronger, like twice stronger. I have some ideas. We will have to see how the classes, like how this plays out, how like if Energized Barrier works, if Incantation Swiftness works with your shield and your invisibility. I have to test a lot of things, but this is probably what I'm going. At day 1 I'm going this, and then I will decide if it's worth it or not, what I have to change. Now, Arcane does look stronger in the next patch. Not significantly stronger, and it will come down to that barrier thing for being like an actual MVP. For being like an instant pick for rated BG, it will come down to the barrier and mass invisibility probably, not for the damage. The damage is buffed, but it's not gonna beat a Boomy, or it's not gonna beat a Shadow Priest probably, and not a Warlock. So there is no reason not to pick a Warlock, since it does more damage, has better crowd controls, has Hellstone and Gateway, has more HP, right? No reason to not pick a Warlock over a Mage right now. And for Shadow Priest you have Anti-Dispel, more damage, better CCs, still no brainer. And then Boomy, you have significantly more damage, stealth for Ninja Cap, you can defend bases better, it's just better. And yes, I think that Boomy defends bases better than Mage, because you can be in stealth when the people come and take the flag, and you can call an ink and then you can buy time. While Mage is just dueling people, which is somehow decent to buy time, but any stealth class is probably better. Like Rogue, Hunter and Boomy defend better for me, and still better bases usually. Mage is still decent at ninja capping though, but nobody really wants to rely on that. Everybody's trying to get to the team fight mostly, and have the Rogue as a winning condition. If team fights go bad, you have Boomy and Rogue going off bases trying to steal. You want the Boomy before the Mage because it gets into team fight really well, and Rogue for defending, which is better. And for ninja capping you still can do Rogue and Boomy if the team fights go bad. Let's say that you go Waterworks and you team fight, it goes bad, you still send Rogue and Boomy to off base, so the enemies will have to send someone to help, and then you have a different option for team fight. If you can't win a 8v8 or 9v9, you just split the enemy and see if it plays any better. So thanks for watching. This is my first actual guide, and I will see how the feedback is on this one to decide if I want to do more, or yeah, I have 30 points, really? Okay. Or if people enjoy more the gameplay than the guides, I don't know. I'm just trying things. Well, thanks for watching, see you next time.